Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whenever you watch this. I want to welcome you to the first episode of my series, Under My Skin. Here, Under My Skin, I'm pretty much going to give you facts, opinions, sometimes rantings, but hey, it'll all make a difference in the end because sometimes it'll make sense and again it won't. But you have to sit down, think about it, research it, then for you to understand it. But here, my name, always, is Darrell. People call me many different names, but you can just call me Darrell. Makes everything so much simpler. Or better yet, just call me the host. Hey, it works. On my show, I'm pretty much going to give you different segments, but my main two segments you will always know about is pretty much Dear the Host or pretty much Ask the Host. Ask the Host is pretty much you sending me questions to my personal Facebook if you know it, or send it to theundermyskinshow at gmail.com. That's pretty much the email address for this show. theundermyskinshow at gmail.com. Send it to that. I'll get it, answer it. Maybe on the next show or person just send it back to you just because you sent it to me. And we always greatly appreciate those questions here at the show. So if you ask me anything, I will answer it for you. So any questions that you hear tonight are pretty much asked beforehand during the planning stages of this show so it can run successfully for everybody to understand it. But another segment on the show is pretty much Dear the Host. I'm going to get deep down and in depth with somebody's question that says, hey, dear the host, blah, 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 blah. You know, pretty much like if anybody remembers, there's always a person in the paper. If most people from Memphis know, there's a Dear Abby section in the paper. So, just pretty much, I'm going to be like Dear Abby for you, Dear the host. And I'm going to give you my best advice to the question that you asked me. If I don't have that much advice for you, I'm going to do it to my best of my abilities to understand what you're asking me and to give you the best advice for what I know. So, to run down the very first topic of here on Under My Skin, we're going to speak about my favorite, utterly just bonkers topic of all time is reality shows. I've been watching reality shows since I was small, since MTV had The Real World and Road Rules, and that was pretty much the two only reality shows you knew about. And now they're just gotten completely out of hand. There's the Basketball Wives, the Atlanta Housewives, you have the New Jersey Housewives, you have Orange County Housewives, Basketball Wives, Mobster Wives, you got just everything. And it's just, now these reality shows have just gotten completely out of fucking control. Because some of these reality shows do not make any fucking sense. They follow the lives of some of these people that have, one, no life, two, have no purpose, and three, have no clear importance about themselves at all. And it's just like, why is this show on air? And to my understanding, I don't understand why so many people flock to some of these shows when half this shit on some of these reality shows is so made up, and you can tell it is because you can clearly go talk to some of these people in their personal lives if you ever got the opportunity to talk to some of these people to understand some of this shit never really happens. Some of this shit was really just made up. And y'all have to understand another thing, some of these reality shows are not done yesterday and put on TV tomorrow. Some of this shit has been done months, sometimes a year in advance, and they're putting it on TV now. Sometimes this stuff happens recently so people understand that this probably happened 6 months ago, so you know what happens, so that way you can understand where this stuff is coming from. But some of this stuff on these reality shows now, IC has one, and everybody's favorite one is Atlanta's Housewives and Basketball Wives and the Bad Girls Club. I've watched some of these shows, I've tried to catch on to some of these shows, but I've just stayed almost clear away from reality shows just because of the simple fact that there's no grave importance to them at all. I don't see why somebody's so hyped up about somebody else's life when half the time most of these people that are hyped up about somebody else's life clearly don't even have their own life together in the first place, because you either bumming a ride off somebody every day, don't have a job, not going to school, not trying to do anything with your life, or you have a job and you ain't trying to, actually put forth the effort to make your job or put the effort into your job to get better or move up. And I'm one of those type of people that if I got a job, I'm going to make it my business to let you know that I'm a skilled worker, hard worker, determined worker to make it to that next level and beyond. I'm not just going to come here and stay in one position and just stay there, because there ain't no reason for that. I mean, I can understand if it's just a part-time job for you, then maybe I can see that. But if this is your full-time job, pays your bills, pays your rent, car note, feeds the dog, feeds the kids, feeds you, pays your car insurance, pays your cell phone bill, pays the cable bill, water, lights, all of that, then you need to be trying to make sure that that job is, one, successful for you, important to you, that you believe in your job and believe in the skills that you can provide for your job, that you can respect the people that work around you, respect your bosses, that you can get along with the people around you regardless of how you feel about them, that you can respect them for the work that they do regardless of how they do it, and be able to know that there is advancement in your job if you work hard for it. Most people do not care. Most people, all they see is this. All they see is money. I understand money is a factor when it comes to a job, but money comes with the job regardless. If you put forth the effort and show that you really want this job, guess what? The money is gonna come. I know this from personal experience, from working my way up from my first job at Domino's Pizza in 2003, working all the way up to running the store as a store manager. So believe me, I know how the hard work goes, and I know how putting forth your hard work, sweat, determination, opening, closing, pretty much doing everything, showing you how to do everything, learning how to do new skills that's outside of your spectrum range, and just pretty much putting yourself out there. Sometimes putting yourself out there is good, but if you're going to put yourself out there, make sure you putting forth the effort when you put yourself out there, and they give you the tools to learn these things and to understand these things, that you appreciate them and you put forth the effort to understand them, learn them, ask for help when need be. But that's enough about jobs. But we're going to go back to reality shows, but excuse me, lost a thought, tripping over my words. But reality shows, for some people, this is a job. So this does go hand in hand with what I just previously told you. Some of these people don't ever live these lives, have never lived this life. You could probably see these people out on the streets and they live an everyday natural lives, and when they're actually around these people that you see on TV, there is nothing goes on that show that they actually do. And it's really funny because you can actually tell these people don't go through these things, because you can ask them and they'll probably tell you, oh, I don't even remember that, or it take them forever to remember something that they just happened 6 months ago. And I find reality shows to be a joke, because half these reality shows, there's so many. Some of them never make it through the first season. Some make it through forever. Like Bad Girls Club, it's continuous on. I can't stop it. Never can stop it. You never will stop it until it just runs its course. And reality shows is pretty much what they have to do nowadays. Run their course until people get bored with it, and the network just tosses it off to the side. But now when you have reality shows that actually mean something, that actually show worth, that actually show they're not a game, like The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, which are two of the biggest joke game shows, reality game shows I've ever seen in my life. Survivor is another one. And you have to put forth the effort into these reality shows to actually show real stuff. Now, one reality show I can fall back on and say was the truth, because these two people still act like this to this day, was the reality show between Jessica Simpson and her then at that time husband, Mr. Nick Lachey. Yeah, that reality. I hate when I kick stuff over. So much noise. But again, like I was saying, Jessica Simpson and Nick Lachey. Yeah, Jessica Simpson has her moments where she clearly is a blonde, as you want to call it, or a dunce. Because she had her moments on this show where she showed her true colors, that she was a little off in the head. And Nick Lachey wasn't no better, but they both had their faults. But they acted like that in real life. They acted like that in every day, out in the public. Acted like that behind closed doors, even on TV. I mean, one thing that they always say whenever you go on a reality show, and most reality people will tell you this, just be yourself, you know, just disregard that there are cameras here, just enjoy yourself and blah 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 and all of this, and you try your best to, but sometimes people know they're on TV and they're gonna play it up and do things a lot worse or amp it up just a little bit more because they know they're on camera, and that's fine. But understand one thing: if you're going to do that, make sure it looks real and not fake. So that's my take on reality shows, because I'm not gonna go forth into some of the ones that are out there, the Kardashians and Ice-T and his wife, and the Bad Girls Club, and the Atlanta Housewives, to name a few, Basketball Wives, Mobster Wives. Some of these shows, I know a lot of these people who are going to watch my show, and friends of mine and families of mine watch these shows, so I'm just not going to go there. But if you want to know how I feel about them, like I said, send me a message to theundermyskinshow at gmail.com. I'll answer your question. I will tell you how I feel about it, but I'm just not going to go there. Just, all I can say is, to get a reality show nowadays, do something half important or somewhat important that grabs a lot of attention, grabs a celebrity's attention or a network's attention. They'll probably give you one, or just to see how interesting it is, or you have to be somewhat important or do something important to get a reality show. So if you want one, go out there, do something, and get you one. Am I trying to get one? No, don't want one. Don't want everybody in my life. Everybody who knows me, close to me, knows what goes on in my life, but I don't tell them everything, so I try to keep stuff to myself, because knowing everything about me, that's a lot. And the people who have dated me know that. So, to move on from that topic, we're going to go to the next one. I was pretty much presented with this topic as to asking why do people are content with the I'll put it the intellectual way, the status quo of America and what goes on, but then again, right behind it, they're content with the status quo but post everything about their lives and what goes on, them in the bathroom taking a shit, or them going to the store to get a bag of chips, or going backyard, smoke a blunt or a cigarette, or I just had sex with this, yada yada yada, or I just left the club and blah blah blah, on Facebook and Twitter.